Rotaract Talent Sylvia from the Rotaract Club of Mugahinga Kisoro. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that all?
Good morning, Rotarians. This is Rotarian Lydia from Makindye West. Glad to be here.
Okay.
Good morning. This is Rotarian Quiz from Soroti Central, Kasaran officer.
Thank you. I think I'm not seeing the coordinator of the regional, the chair, the coordinator of the regional coordinators. Paul? Chair, is it possible to reach out to him? Yeah. Okay, having done that, colleagues, I now want to request the chair mobilization to give us her opening remarks. Chair mobilization, over to you.
Thank you, Rotarian Mehdi. I'll start by apologizing. I'm on the road. In case there are interruptions, please kindly bear with me. I'll start by introducing myself. Evelyn Indondo Kironda is my name. Rotary Club of Muyenga, and chair mobilization for this year. I think I've been in touch with most of you on this forum. I'll start by welcoming you. I want to welcome everyone. Thank you for taking the time to attend our meeting this morning. We do not take it for granted, and thank you for accepting to serve to create hope. Introductions were already made, but I'll briefly introduce the core committee team again for the benefit of those who are joining us for the first time. We've had 2 previous meetings in the past, but we keep getting additions to the team. And most of you might not know some of the people, so I'll go and introduce them briefly once again. I am the mobilization chair. Rotarian Mehdi Lutaya is the vice chair. Rotarian Paul Kalisa is our on-to officer coordinator. Rotarian Abed Natkunda is the chair Rotaractors mobilization. Rotaract Maxwell Oliver is the vice chair Rotaract mobilization, and also he's handling the non-Rotarian mobilizing for downtown. Rotarian Annette, institutions of learning, working with Rotaractor Victoria Natambi. Rotarian Jessica Nafuka is the mobilization person for places of worship. We have Rotarian Pros Lukwago, she's handling all our communication. We also have our regional coordinators from all the regions. We have our corridor coordinators, and then the on-to officers. With these, I can't introduce each of them, otherwise I'll take all your time. But they're doing a great job, and some of them are in attendance. Others sent apologies. That's why we have the recording. They'll be able to share into the recording later on. I just wanted to say that you're all doing a great job. We appreciate all the time and effort you're putting into this work. We need to work harder, and we need to be together for the cancer run to be a success. Sorry, before I forget, we are working closely with Chair Registration, who is Rotarian Joseph Loevuze, Chair Medical, Dr. Dennis Okwi, Branding and PR. They will also come in later to give their input. So yeah, the cancer run, as we all know, is set for the 27th of August at Kololo Ceremonial Ground. And it will also happen in all the major towns and cities around the country and the globe. What we've done so far, we are trying to update all the forums on a daily with a registration link and steps to registration to help us push this. The accountability clip for the cancer run, since it started in 2012 to our last run, is being shared on all the forums. I believe we can go out there with confidence now to look for sponsorships with this accountability video, because most of our sponsors ask questions with the cancer runs we've had in the past. What have we achieved? Where are we going? So I request that we use this accountability clip and we spread it around to give accountability for what we are doing. Registration and sale of kits has started. Like I mentioned, the link is being shared on the forums. We request that we continue to spread this link far and wide. We do not only have to share it on our Rotary forums, we can share it in our other groups on Twitter, Facebook, whatever we can do, we need to push it out for us to be able to get numbers. We are looking at 50,000 participants this year. So for us to be able to get that, we really need to create awareness and to share this link, considering the registration of the Cancer Run Online is starting this year. So we really need to push it out there. An update with registration still, an update on registration, I think was shared last week. And Chair registration is going to keep giving us an update of those who have registered and the clubs that have registered and the numbers that we have that have already pre-ordered for kits. However, we had a meeting with Chair Christine yesterday, and one thing we noticed is most of us are not yet registered. Considering all the forums that we have with mobilization, put together, we're about 250. We need to start with us. And I beg and request, like after this meeting, let each of us go and register and order our kits. Let's lead by a good example. It doesn't make, I mean, we are going out there requesting people and sharing the link when ourselves are not yet registered. If we can try and register, it will also help us to go through these steps, and it will get easier for us to sell the registration out there. So I request that we all get to register today if we can. In the earlier meeting of that we had with our own two officers, there was a concern about vests of the young ones, and I'm sure this question is going to come back again. Well, this time around, we have the extra small sizes and the extra small. And we believe these will work well with our young ones. They are not as big as, because we did not have the extra smalls in the past, but we have them now. So for all those that I want to order for the young ones, I think extra small and extra small will work well. Then the other thing is, we have most of our own two officers, but we are still missing some. Not too many, but there are a few still who are missing, and they don't have this information. So I request that the regional coordinators, the corridor coordinators, to kindly try and get for us those that you think are missing from your corridors or from your region, so that we can bring them on board to have this information available for them. Because once they don't have the information, it will be hard for them to mobilize. So for the missing on-two officers, we request that if you have someone that you know and is missing, kindly let us know on any of the chats, and a link can be shared at any time for them to join the group. Club packages. Club packages have also been shared on the different forums. These are to help clubs look for sponsorships. The packages clearly define what each sponsor will be entitled to once they purchase a package. In the past, we've had our sponsors coming into our tents, but this time around, if someone wants to buy a sponsorship package, they will be entitled to certain things as mentioned on the packages. And still, we also need these sponsors to help us raise more money. As we share, I forgot one thing, as we share the registration link, we should push for donations as well. If you look closely, and as chair, registration will be going through it, there is a button for donations. If someone tells you they are not going to be around, they cannot run, we can still entice them to go into the donations button, and they can donate to us whatever they can. Whether they will be running or not, they can still go ahead with the donation. Clubs will still get their 10% back from the sale of sponsorship packages and sale of kits. We should be expecting them faster because of the tools that we are using for registration now. So let clubs go ahead and push for these sponsorships. Their 10% will still be coming through. We shared as well the club qualification details for tents at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds, and also for those who will be running from the different towns and cities. Yeah, we are expected to have a sale of 600 kits for the 100-seater and 400 kits for a 50-seater. It sounds a lot, but we need to realize that this is not limited to only the club. Whoever you sell for out there, you can solicit them to pick your club during registration, and this sale will still come to you as a club. So let's not get scared with the numbers. I believe we'll be able to reach our targets as expected. Talking points were shared too. These should be helping with presentation and announcements during fellowships. Let's endeavor to make these announcements at every fellowship and encourage our members to register and the visitors that attend our fellowships. The other thing is about medical camps. Most of you have been asking about the medical camps. Yes, we are encouraging during the launches to have these medical camps, and I've been collecting medical contacts. And I beg that those of us who have not yet shared these medical contacts, please let them come through. When I get these contacts, I share them with Chair Medical, who will later on give an update. We need to give back to the communities. We've been getting money from people to buy kits, but this time around, we are looking at having medical camps during our launches so that we can have a free cancer screening. We can have people coming in there to create, we want to create awareness during these camps. So I request that those who haven't yet shared medical contacts, let's push them out so that we have this planned and organized in time. I have also gone ahead to request for venues. We've been requesting for venues for the mine event for those not going to run from Kololo. We've been requesting for venues for the launches and anticipated numbers during the main run. The main reason we are asking for these is we want to make it easier for you during your mine events. Would want to have, cause in the last meeting, there was a concern of only Kololo being mentioned as a main run when we have runs in other cities and towns. We can only be able to have this in place if we share these details so that PR can go ahead to include them in the radio announcements, so that branding can go ahead to brand according to the area of run. So I request also that we get these coming in. And I thank all those who have shared them so far. The response has really been very good. I'm really grateful. I know you go out of your way to get these details. Some of the places are so far from you, but you've still gone ahead and shared them in big numbers. Thank you so much. I think that's all I have to give for now. The response has really been very good. We have feedback. Thank you. I will conclude and hand over to the chair for the meeting, but I'll be online and I will answer all your questions as they come in. Once again, thank you so much. Over to you, Chair. Chair Mehdi?
Yeah, I had an interruption.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
I beg to submit. Over to you.
So much, Chair. She has given us, she's touched on almost every aspect of this run. What I pick out is that we are way behind. Raise the standard, raise our game, because there's a lot that is expected of us as members of this committee. So, the next agenda item was updates, which has been given. She has given almost every update on anything concerning the run. I only want to add on that for coordinators, regional coordinators, please, a couple of you have not yet given in your launch dates, your launch venues, and the main event venues. For those that have given, we want to thank you, but there are few. I see people that have given fully. Coordinators that have given fully is Entebbe, Masaka, Ginger, Wakiso. Yeah, others have given partial. So there's a thing or two that is still missing in the information you've given us. Either it's a main event venue, or the launch venue, or it's a launch date. I want to request that we finalize this, but also very importantly, as ONT officers, as regional coordinators, as members of the core committee, by now, all have registered for this council. When we look at the statistics from chair registration, we notice that a great number of us have not individually registered. And therefore, you cannot take people where you've not been. As leaders, we must lead from the front and lead by example. So I want to cajole all of you to take up the mantle and finalize registration, probably before the end of the day today, such that we can be easy to sell around to the people because we're there. Allow me move to the next agenda item, which is communication from the coordinator. Is Rotarian Paul online? Rotarian Paul, are you online? Sir? I don't see him online. She's using another name. Hello? Anyone cited Rotarian Kalisa? Okay. Maybe we could have updates from the chair directors. Chair director. Rotaractor? Colleagues, am I audible? So,
You are very audible, maybe. I just don't think they're on the
Yes, hello.
I see Maxwell. Yes, hello?
Chair, I think Maxwell can take over. Obed is not signed in yet.
Yes, hello.
And
Yes,
let me try
yes,
and
yes.
call the chair on too.
Okay.
Yes, this is Rotractor Maxwell from the Rotract Club of Kampala International University. Like they said earlier, the vice mobilization Rotractors is not here, but I must say, as far as mobilization on the part of Rotractor is concerned, we are moving well. We have created a WhatsApp cancer and WhatsApp group for the both districts, whereby we are having majority of Rotractors on board. We have also come up with different Rotractors from both the districts who are trying to help us share the link and also necessary information about the cancer run in different groups in the districts and for the Rotary clubs. We are also trying to engage the presidents, and this is happening through the President's Forum, where I am a member because I'm the PE. So we are engaging the presidents individually to ensure that they encourage their members to register and be part of this cancer run. So far, what I can say in the absence of my chair is that we are as the mobilization of Rotractors. Thank you, Chair, and back to you.
Okay, colleagues, you'll keep your questions from all these communications, and we'll give a chance for reactions. Okay, can you now hear from Chair Medical? Chair Medical? Dr. Joseph? Chair Medical? I see Dr. Joseph Amanya. Dr. Joseph, are you with us? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, please.
Dr. Joseph Amanya, the chair medical. I'm the cancer run chair for RC
From
Mbarara.
Oh, yeah, sure. I think Chair Medical is not online. Okay, in the meantime, can we have reactions? So far we are missing Chair Medical and coordinator, the Chair Regional Coordinators. Can we have reactions, colleagues, from the communications that you've had?
Yes, hello.
Yes, please.
This is Dr. Joseph Amanya, Rotary Club of Mbarara. I want to thank the chair for the elaborate communication she has given us. I'm talking about the potential that is in the regions. I want us to be helped to tap in the potential that is in our regions. For example, if you look at the city of Mbarara, we have over 4 clubs and maybe over Rotary clubs and others, maybe 6 Rotract clubs. But when it comes to mobilization for this run, last year I was still the cancer run chair. It is a little bit difficult. I would like to get experience from other maybe cities, how they have been able to do if they succeeded. But there is a lot of potential, but we are not, it is difficult for us to maybe, this time I hear the regional coordinators, I hope mine is here. but there is great potential. If we work together, I don't know what why we are not working together. Is it the 10%? Is it people don't get how they will share the 10%? But for me, I would have loved to see the whole city run, regardless of who even will get the 10%. So I don't know how the clubs are going to break from that, because the 10% is the small bit. We are talking about cancer and is a concern of everyone, and the talking points are many. So how do we make all these, the whole city run, and the participation of all the clubs and road track clubs in our towns? If I could be helped to how that can be done, I would be glad. Then another thing about how the clubs get these kits. Last time was the responsibility of the president or the PE. I don't know what this time, who is supposed to request and account for these kits when they come to these clubs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Joseph. I think for purpose of not losing his questions, I'd want to tell you that the 10% is still available on the sale of kits. The kits are 30,000. So every kit you sell as a club is a 3,000 shillings that goes to the club. The difference this time around is that the kits also have a bag we didn't have last time. So the 30,000 includes the vest and the bag. Who is responsible for collecting the kits? And who does the accountability? This time around, we are not picking kits from the Kazaran officers, like the question used to be, and then pay money later. Registration is done online and you pay for the money. So what you're supposed to do as a club, as a Kazaran officer, Rotary Club of Mbarara, is collect money from the rest of your members, assuming you collect money for 100 kits. So you have 3 million on your phone. You go to the registration link. You already have the sizes that the members need. So you put in the different quantities of the respective sizes: double XL, 32, 3XL, 40, medium 10, large 4, small 15, totaling to 100. Then at the end of the registration, you'll be required to pay by mobile money. So that's how payment is done. It is first payment, and then when the kits are meant to be on the 24th of June, and I guess we're still on schedule. So the moment you have the payment receipt, it is the payment receipt that the club president or the council and officer will take to the council and office to pick the kits. So it's cash on delivery, cash on pickup, and the cash is only done through an online registration and payment system. I hope this clarifies. I have also seen a question from Jackie of Kasangati. What happens if you sell less than 400 kits, not tent at all, or there's a general provision? The figures for the 600 and the 400 kits to qualify for tents, I would say, are still tentative figures from the venue team. At our next meeting, we shall get someone from the venue team to be part of this, and he will give us a detail on what is expected. Of course, there are tents, and there's also always a general provision, which doesn't have a tent, but it's open space. As for all of you that have been to Kololo, there's always a general provision that if you don't have a tent, you can be in the general happiness, which is also fun, but we want as much as possible for purposes of bringing out brand visibility, club presence, to have tents as much as possible. So the next meeting, we'll endeavor to bring the chair venue, and we'll expound more on this. I have been reliably informed that Chair Medical, Dr. I think Dennis Okwil, has logged on. I want to request that we pause our reactions, our communication, and gives us the update, after which we'll go back to the reactions. Chair Medical, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Chair Mehdi. Apologies for logging in late, but thank God I'm here. I would like to begin by thanking each and everyone for all the efforts that have been put in so far. For all the to all our onto officers, thank you so much for all the work. The medical team is very happy that we have received a good representation of generally the corridors and the regions and the clubs, and work has been set out already. We're still looking forward to receiving more medical coordinators from the different groups. So but in a nutshell, I'll just come out and say this out. Like we all know that this venture is a fundraising venture. So at any cost, we are trying our level best to make sure that we collect more money and spend the least money out of the coffers. So the medical committee is one of those committees that has a demanding budget from our mandate of trying to raise awareness, to do prevention. I know prevention is clustered into 3 sections. We have primary prevention, where basically we don't want whatever the issue is, or in this case cancer, to happen, whereby we can actually if someone is at risk, maybe you have a family history, or you have a gene, or you have a genetic kind of predisposition, we can detect it and then avert it at that point. That's what we call primary prevention, and that is at that level. Then we have what we call secondary. So someone, let's say, already has this cancer. How do you control the cancer? How do you make sure it's not an issue? And this is usually where the cure aspect comes in. And that's basically where we are in terms of building the bunker and the radiotherapy treatment so that we can cure the cancers. Then we have the last aspect, which is called the tertiary prevention. Here is that you have got the cancer, and then not going on, things are not going as best as we would have wished, but then we are trying to manage the complications now. Say from the cancer, it has gone further than it's supposed to go. So you have a breast cancer, then it has ended up in the lungs. So you're having a lot of fluid or water collecting. So managing all those sorts of things. So that's how we are looking at this. And it's a very expensive venture. So as a committee, we said, we looked at it and we said that if the committee takes on monetary support of all the clubs, all the Rotary regions and corridors, we might end up spending all the money we collect from sponsors and all that. So we have agreed that what we kindly request from the different regions, different corridors, and different clubs is that you take initiative. Different clubs have connections, different sorts of connections. You have partners. Some clubs have doctors. Some clubs have facilities that I've worked with before to do medical camps. So we wanted to reach out to them, and have a medical kind of camp, which is centered on cancer screening and sensitization. Yes, you can do other things. You can check for BMI or other non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, because some of them are actually risk factors for cancers. Things like HIV, you can test for them because they're risk factors for cancer. And then you do things like in the community out there, there are some cancers that need more sophisticated technology to check, where you need blood works, like in the prostate cancer. But in the community, we can all do cervical cancer screening as long as you have the partner. So we are saying we need initiative to come from the different clubs. That's what we're saying. So far we have been reached out by very many by some corridors, I'll mention a few. I'll mention Wakiso has reached out to us, the Wakiso Corridor. The partners partnered already with the facility. We have been reached out by in the Entebbe Corridor. They've partnered with Mild May. The people of Bunga have reached out and we are working with them to support them. So this is what the committee wants to do. We want initiative to be shown by the different corridors and clubs, and then we can support. How does our support come in? One, we can write letters direct from the cancer run program to the partners. Say it's a hospital, say it's a company that wants to give money or logistics to run your camp. We can write letters because I know such a letter from the program would weigh more and would give more confidence to our partners. That's one. Then technical support. The committee having medical people can support you and guide you on what to do, what can work best, on depending on which kind of medical activity you want to run. Are you in the community? Are you doing a hospital or a facility-based activity? Those dynamics change a lot. So with the medical coordinators, we can support. Then the coordinator can actually provide personnel depending to also come and support, like or have a member or two of the committee to come and be at your camps. Then 3 is we have some funding. It's not a lot. And if we look at your budget and you organize, we can see how we can support in terms of mostly providing testing kits, mostly like providing testing kits or testing equipment for this. Then lastly but not least is we have partners as a medical committee, like Reproductive Health Uganda, Mild May, Richard, Uganda Cancer Institute, which we already have some sort of MOUs with, even some hospitals, mostly in Kampala metropolitan area. So if you organize enough and you approach us, we can actually, if say Reproductive Health Uganda has a station near your facility, we can request them to support you in terms of logistics or to work with you in that sense. And so that is the kind of picture we're trying to build. We want to be effective, but then also to be economically wise about it, such that we give back to the community. We do the prevention strategies, constant awareness and all that, but in an economically sound way, such that at the end of the day, we have more money in the kitty bank, such that we go ahead and do what we are set out to do. That's the strategy. So there's also some, we have partnered with the Rotary Family Health Days, and they have agreed to give some support. So depending on how organized the clubs are, and with the Rotary Family Health Day covers both District 9-1-3 and 9-1-4. So if the districts are organized, if the clubs or the corridors are organized and they have a plan and they have reached out to partners and they have a date or a set venue for an activity, a cancer screening activity before the run, and then they give us this detail in time, we can requisition or get a support from the Rotary Family Health Days, which will go into medication and testing kits and all that. So bottom line is, all this depends on how organized we are. And I've told you so far, a given number of clubs or corridors have actually organized themselves, and we're working with them, and we're going to support them to the best of our capacity as the medical team. Now, with all that said and done, so far, what have we done? What are we doing as a medical team? One, we're having what we call the pre-cancer run activities, and then the cancer run day activities themselves, then the post-cancer run day activity. The pre-cancer activities, what do they entail? We are doing a massive social media or online campaign or social awareness for social media awareness campaign, so that when socials, you're going to see messages about cancer, survival series, and which form of cancers are common in our setting, how can we prevent the cancer. People have to be aware that this scourge is with us, but then it's curable if detected early enough. So we need to make people to become more health aware, people to have better health seeking behaviors, and not taking it for granted. You have a lump somewhere, you don't wait 10 years later to go check it out. You go to the nearest health center or nearest hospital or to your doctor to make sure you don't take anything for granted. Because for every cancer, at least I say this with authority of being a doctor. I know literally for any cancer, once it is detected, when it's still in its setting means in that primary organ. By organ, I mean if it's a cancer of say the kidney, once it's detected and it's still in the kidney, and the kidney is brought out or the treatment is commenced, you will be cured of that cancer. Over 90% accuracy. So that means prevention is very, very key. And early detection is very key. So this is what we are doing mostly. So there's that. Then we are also going to have we are also organizing for cancer talks or awareness series, whereby we are requesting different clubs, different corridors to give us dates. Or to organize and invite us, because we already have MOUs with hospitals around the country, whereby we can provide doctors to come and give awareness talks about cancer in your clubs or in your corridor meetings. And we would want it to be in a way that it's organized. Say if Monday clubs decide to have a joint cancer awareness meeting, then we provide a person give the talk. It can be both physical and hybrid, whatever works for you. We can do that. And then corridors, same thing. We organize yourself as a corridor, and we do that. As we provide the personnel. We also, on top of just getting a doctor to come and talk, we can also get survival series, whereby we bring people who have actually beat cancer to talk to us and tell us their journey, because it's not a mean feat. It comes at a lot of cost of time, money, and a lot of emotion. So we want to do that, but we want the different clubs to allow us to do that. That's by giving us formal invitations. On my committee, I have people who are totally dedicated to that, and they've reached out. They told me they've reached out, but most clubs are telling us that they're still in the installation period, and most people are putting all the energies there. But request that now that the installations are winding up, please get us time, give us audience, and we deliver in that sense, because we believe with cancer, prevention and early detection are the key to manage it. Because at the end of the day, once it is advanced, it is lost. Like the chances are so low once the disease is in advanced stages. That's one thing for a fact. So the best way to manage cancer is actually to prevent it or to detect it early, such that you're still in a stage where it can be managed and cured. Then the other thing, before I forget, is also so during the D-Day itself, or obviously we shall have the usual. We shall have first aid. We shall have ambulances out there in all the routes. So we are coordinating with some hospitals like IMC CCare, which is located in most parts of the country. We're going to provide discounted cancer screening for prostate cancer, breast cancer examination, all other different cervical cancer. So we are going to have the posters or flyers out so that a Rotarian can walk into any CCare IMC center around the country and get a discounted pricing for cancer testing. And also on top of that, we shall do BMI. BMI is body mass index, where we test for non-communicable diseases. We test for your weight and advise you accordingly, because one of the big risk factors of actually developing one of the cancer and other non-communicable diseases like hypertension and diabetes is actually being overweight. And some people don't know that. You might think because you look the same size as your neighbor, you think you're okay, but you're shorter than your neighbor. So you might actually be overweight and not know that. So we want that. So we are going to publicize that such that you can watch in the center. Your blood pressure is taken for free, and then maybe your sugars are tested for free, and then you pay some money to do some cancer tests, such that you know where you stand. Because the key is in early detection, and that's the message we want to go out there, that everyone should be on the alert. The enemy is with us, but the enemy can be defeated as long as we are vigilant enough and we take our health seriously. Don't wait for things to go bad and then start remembering on thinking about our health. That's what we're saying. So on the very day of the cancer run, like if for those who have been there, we shall have a good number of ambulances to cover all the routes. We shall have a mobile clinics at the Kololo venue itself. But then for the upcountry centers, for those that are within our reach, we shall send, because like last year we sent support to Entebbe directly. We sent ambulances and a team there. In areas of Ginger, we send people. So as long as we are coordinated enough and the onto officers, we can coordinate and maybe even help you to tell you who to reach out. The DHO, you should reach out to your DHO. They have, all districts have ambulances. As long as you reach out in time, you can get these ambulances to cover your routes, and then you get medical services. Every district, every region has a hospital around, whether it's private or government. All you have to do is to reach out to these people in time. No, everyone wants to partner or to associate with Rotary because of our good branding. So it's only up to us to garner onto this and build synergies out of that, such that we have a perfect run in terms of medical. We don't have to have an incident whereby we have a runner getting a cardiac arrest or what we call a heart attack while they're running, and there's no ambulance or there's no one to take care of them, and yet and then we lose someone and on grounds that can be prevented. So we want to believe that with proper coordination, now that you're provided the medical coordinator. Now, so not every club has someone who has a medical background, maybe per se, maybe it's a nurse, but we don't need necessarily doctors or nurses or anyone. It can be even the regional coordinator themselves or the corridor coordinators, if there's no one else, or anyone who is willing to coordinate medical activities. You don't need to be a doctor to do that. Or as long as we, as the medical committee, are working direct with you, are guiding you, you can perform. Case in point, I'm as the head. This is now my time running, heading the medical committee of the cancer run. Half of my committee is actually non-medical people. I will tell you this, and I've done that even with the DISCON. Running committees where I have like only 2 medical people or 3, and rest of them are not medical, because at the end of the day, this is just being this is project planning and organization. And as long as people have their KPIs set and their goals set right, and they have the good leadership and guidance, they can do that. So in a nutshell, that's what I had to present. If there are any questions, I would like to receive them and then move on from there. Otherwise, thank you for the audience. Thank you for all that you're doing. May God bless you all for good and my country.
Thank you, Dr. Okuyo, for that elaborate, informative, and well update from the medical team. The take-home, guys, is that the medical team is ready, but it seems we are not ready for them. So I want to call upon the regional coordinators to get in touch with the medical team. There is a lot that can spice up our regional launches. There is a lot that can spice up our regional runs. So let's make use of support from the medical team, and we have it come along. I note that the coordinator of the regional coordinators, Paul, is online. Paul, can I request that you give us the updates on the updates from the regional coordination team, such that we can have the final band of reactions, and then we'll have chair registration take over. Over to you, Paul. Paul, you're welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, you seem to be low. From my side, you seem to be low.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Absolutely clear.
It's because it's raining where I am, so everything is very slow. However, so seconds. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you very much. The only updates we have from our sides is just because we've been going through a lot of installations, club installations of late. we've just been facing very low turn up in regards to kit sales within the clubs. Most of the onto officers that you would contact, their feedback you would get was mostly we are still going through installations, and then right after installations, we are going to push for the kits and sell. For example, my club installations was last evening, and up to date, we only have around like 6 sales, I think, within the club. But however, I think the next steps for my club, if I just give it as an example, is just getting on to sell the kits and getting the numbers up. So most of the onto officers have been facing a problem of club installations because they obviously have to sell different tickets for the installations at their clubs, and that adding on top of that, coming in with the cancer run tickets was also going to be a little bit of a hurdle. But as I am aware of the different clubs around, most of the installations are probably ending very soon. And then I think whatever club is done with installation, then the auto officer of that club will definitely kick in gear in regards to the kit sales. However, though, I think that we still have an issue around publicity equipment, if I can put it like that. That comes down to we do not have enough media kit. For example, if a club auto officer is presenting, if they have an opportunity to present about the cancer run within their club, how are they going to present that? We don't have enough equipment that is available for them to maybe show up in terms of, like, a flyer or a placard or a t-shirt or something that really represents what this year's run is going to look like. And then on top of that, there is also that's point number one. If what's the status on media kits and things like those that we can use within our clubs. And then also, I think it would also be very good to have any printable material, because I'm sure that some auto officers would be willing to invest a small money somewhere. So if they can just print something for their club presentations when they're going to present about the cancer run. And then lastly, I think it's just a call on to onto cancer run officers that are within accessible regions. For example, like we talk about Central, to check in and maybe call on a Rotarian evening, Rotarian maybe, or myself, whenever they feel like they would officially want to launch the cancer run within their club, and ask if any of us could attend. So those are just basically the two things that I have. One is for the cancer chair to update us on what media kit is available. Do we have any printables or anything we can actually use? And then the second one is for the onto cancer run officers to actually call on to us whenever they feel like they're ready to present the cancer run this year within their club. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Paul. I hope that has also been absolutely clear. Your call to action, rotate, and media branding, that is hindering the efforts of mobilization, as well as the beehive activity of installation that has been going on in the clubs, which we are cognizant of. But I think, like you mentioned, the installations are almost coming to an end. By end of June, we'll have had 90% of the installations done. And therefore, sometimes this money looks small, but if you don't package your message so well, it can be seen as though it's donor fatigue. I know clubs are now collecting dues, then their installation fees here and there. But we just have to keep the reminders onto these Rotarians. Do we have any reactions? Any reactions? I have a question. Could you please get clarity on funding and how it works? Paul was not very clear. Funding of. Maybe if you can come back and explain what you really meant.
And thank you. What I was just checking in is there's somewhere where the doctor mentioned that there is some funding, especially for all these medical.
Okay.
Yeah. And what I know is that a lot of people will, I know what he means, but I just wanted him to give more clarity, because most people will think, oh, this is funding, there's available funds for this and that, so let's do it. I just needed him to give clarity and say, okay, when we say funding, we are probably implying that we can maybe pull up and be able to achieve maybe something to this extent, but we're still calling upon you people to go and, meet your DOH and see how far we can push this medical camps. Thank you.
Dr. Davis, could you please give that clarity?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mehdi. And thank you, Paul, by the way. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah, I don't want to leave mixed reactions. So the clarity is, like Paul has said, the initiative is with the club or corridor or regions. The medical committee is offering like an oversight sort of support. The Family Health Day, Rotary Family Health Day board has in principle agreed to offer some sort of support depending on the degree of organization that we are at. So we cannot commit on amounts, but it won't be monetary. It will be in terms of kits, like cancer testing kits or drugs, depending on what we have. But it's safe for you to work without 100% relying on it, but organizing yourself and then presenting your budget or how organized you are. Then from there, we as a committee can go ahead and evaluate and see how best we can extend help in that line. And that totally depends on how organized you are. It's not a guaranteed thing. So like clubs like the Wakiso Corridor have approached us, the people in Entebbe have approached us, and we have looked at their work plan and all that. And so we now know how we can come in and help. We have extended our requisitions or our requests to the Family Health Days, depending on what we have, and we shall tell them what can be. But it's not a percentage that someone should 100% start work on. Like, it's the list, like we're giving in terms of, it's the list. The most of the organization or the lobbying should come from the clubs or the corridors. What we're giving is like not the biggest percentage. I hope that has been clarified. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dennis. I think that's been clarified. And there's another question from Namukenge Lilian. What is the kit consisting of? The kit is a vest and a bag. Unlike the previous one where it was only a vest, this time around it comes with a vest and a bag. I guess we don't have any further reactions. I want to use this opportunity to call upon Chair Registration to come up and take us through what is happening, this docket, and probably do a training on the registration. Chair Registration, the floor is yours. Joseph.
Thank you, John, so much. Chair Mehdi. Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to be a little bit brief. We've been here for quite some time, and we had a number of trainings this morning. 9214, we had grants training. 9213 also had a grants training. Now we have this, so I think we need to be very much considerate. Allow me share my screen as I take you through for us to be able to follow slowly by slowly. Okay. You have two screens to share. One is this very first one we have on top. That is our flyer that is running out. I hope I'm audible enough. That's what we are running.
Your audible and the screen is clear.
Thank you. That's what we are running through in all our clubs and our platforms. And I want to encourage members to be able to move around that flyer. It will help us to generate more awareness. Two, on that same flyer, we have a QR code. Quite a number of times, it's not easy to type a link as it is. But what is happening is that one can simply scan that QR code. Automatically, it will generate the link into your browser. Then you'll be able to go ahead and register or pre-order your Cancer Run kit. That said, I want to move on to the next line. We have a number of things. One, we have the tickets.ugandacancerrun.org, Uganda Cancer, Uganda Rotary Cancer.org. Now, that is the link we are using for the pre-order of kits. Whoever wants to pre-order a kit, that's the actual link that you're supposed to use. On that same link, on that same slide where we are, I also want to mention that the Cancer Run program has a Twitter handle. And all of us on this call, I'm quite sure we are about 36 of us this afternoon. Each of us has a Twitter handle. So I want to request that you log into your Twitter account and then like what we post, tweet, retweet the tweets that we have in there, and let's keep the fire burning. We have other social media platforms like Facebook, it's also key, Instagram as well. So we want to be able to use most of these platforms to be able to reach out to everyone, almost everyone. The technology lovers, we want to reach out to them, and also my brothers, my age men, also want to be able to reach out to them in quite a number of options. 2 or 3, I want to stress the point that for whatever kits that we shall be selling as clubs, we have a 10% sale, 10% back to our clubs. So the more number of kits you sell, the more that comes back to you, just as Mehdi did mention it. But also I want to single out that in the month of July, which we are getting to, it's not a non-designated month. We don't have any specific theme. So I may request that through our different clubs, we may plan to have different talks, and you can reach out to us and we shall be able to come on ground and do further demonstrations and also train you or take you through as a club on how to register for these kits. The difference with this year's run is that we are making a pre-order of kits right before the kits are here. That is 1. 2, we are doing it online. It's an interesting scenario that requires quite a lot from our end as the Cancer Run officers in our clubs, but also to us as people who are managing the whole thing. It calls for a change of mindset. It calls for a collective effort to make sure that we're able to get to where we want to be. A number of things have happened, of course, and one of the things that really stands out is that we have a number of clubs that are still in the areas of the kits of last year. So we are getting close to a full year and these kits have not been paid. We also have other clubs that are having areas that span back as 3 years, 2 years. They have not paid for these kits. But there are also operational costs that are incurred while these kits are being managed and cured and so on. So we are doing a disservice to the Cancer Run. And that's why this year we said, okay, let's try to be a little bit proactive and collect everything at source. Let's save the burden of clubs. Let's save the clubs from the burden of collecting this cash and have it collected all at once in one central place, as I'll show you later on. So that's it. That gives us the actual screen for the pre-order of the Cancer Run kits. And I just have a few things to go through here for me to take you through briefly. So on this actual screen, we discover that 1, we can order pre-kits, but you can also do a donation to the club, to the Cancer Run program. Doing a donation, it's a one-time donation that can either be in US dollars or even in UGX. And the ordering is only done within the UGX section. So your bank, if you're using a Visa card, We'll do the settlement in terms of the UGX that we need and give you an appropriate rate, and an appropriate charge will be charged onto the transaction as you transact. So once you're able to order for the pre-kits, or you order for the kits, you're going to be able to specify the different amounts. So what you see there, we've been able to have the small, the extra small, the 2 extra small for the kids, the medium size, the large size, the extra large, double XL, and 3XL. Those are some of the kits that we are working out, or that we are pre-ordering. So this is to help us order only what we need and make sure that we actually get it. The system has been designed in such a way that you will do the auto stocking. If, for example, you came to Freedom City and you discovered that kits are probably the size of small out of stock at Freedom City, whoever will be there will be able to tell you that when I look through the system, I am seeing small sizes appearing at either Entebbe Road, Centenary Bank Entebbe Road, or Nansana, or even Kauku or Village Mall. So you can walk to any of those places and make sure, or be sure that you'll be able to find these different sizes of the kits. So as long as the size of the kits is out of stock completely, even the Council Run office, then the option for ordering of that specific kit will be grayed out. That means you cannot order for that specific kit. So I want to be able to make sure that this is in real time. As you pick your kits, whatever you do is done and updated in real time, such that you get value for your money and for your time. So the moment you're finished selecting the different kits that you want to buy, then you're going to, of course, you click at the plus sign to be able to add the kits, or minus to reduce the number of kits. The system will automatically add up the kits that you need to have. And once they have been added up, then you'll have a total amount on the next screen where you specify of either being a Rotarian or a non-Rotarian or even a well-wisher. Those are the different groups of people we have on our system making a pre-order of our kits. So once you're able to tell us whether you're Rotarian or not, if you're Rotarian or Tractor, then you'll be requested to tell us what district you belong to. Which district do you belong to? Is it 9214, 9213? All the clubs have been input there, and you simply go in and you choose a specific club of your choice, a specific district or where you belong. So once that is done, then that gives us the option to make the payments for these specific kits. So as we make these payments, Jackson. Okay, thank you. So as we pre-order these kits, then we are going to go ahead and either pay using mobile money or even using our cards. So if you're going to pay using your Visa card, the process is a little bit different. If you're going to pay using mobile money, still it is different. But before you get to this screen, you'll be requested to have a one-time password, and that is what is very key. This is to help you set up your Council Run Kit account. So with this, as long as this has been done, you are free to order as many kits as possible. One, either on behalf of the club, for your club, or on behalf of the members of your club. But one thing that must be specific, please always make sure that you tell us your club name, because this will be the basis for the payback of the 10% to your club. So you shall be looking out on the system to know how many kits that were bought by XYZ club, and then the number of kits bought by XYZ club will determine how much money comes back to you as a club. In the event that you're going to run a donation, which is the other side, then you simply have to specify the amount that you want to give, either in UGX or dollars. Whether in the UGX, you have an option to choose UGX or US dollars. So you tell us how much you want to give us, and once you're done, then you go and click at the Donate Now button. Now the Donate Now button will take you through the process as well to find out, are you a Rotarian or not a Rotarian, and so on and so forth. So once you're done with that, and then you go ahead and input the details of the card that you're using to make payment for money. And once this is done, mobile money, once this is done, then you'll get a notification confirming your payment, your donation. We are cognizant of the fact that some of the people that we have onto the donation bit, some of them are not from within our countries, within our continent. They require tax returns at the end of the day because this is a donation. So what we have also been able to come up with is that as long as someone has made a donation, whether you're within or out of the country, whether you're an African continent or European or wherever you are, you get a notification and a small card that is going to confirm that, yes, you've been able to donate a certain amount of money to the Cancer Run program, and you can provide that as a tax certificate for you when you go to fill in your tax returns at the end of the day. So once the payment has been done to your Cancer Run kits, you're going to get a receipt that has a QR code. It has the date, your payment summary, your details, whether you're Rotarian or not, the receipt number, the sizes that you actually bought. If you bought 100 kits with the different varying sizes, this will be placed onto the receipt that you have. And then down you'll have the sponsors. So what you do, you simply go and pick, you go to any pickup place that is nearest to you, not necessarily your club. You don't need to travel all the way from your club up to the Cancer Run office, no. Just walk to any nearest pickup point of where you will be. And then once you're here, present your receipt. Whoever will be there as a volunteer will simply scan your QR code onto the receipt that you have come along with, and then they'll give you all the kits that you need. At that same time, these kits, as long as they've been scanned, they'll be automatically offset within our stock on the system, and we shall get to know that XYZ picked a number of kits from this point, and this point has less kits now, and then we shall be able to replenish those kits. So at this moment, I want to inform you members on this call that quite a number of pickup points have been confirmed as of now. We've had all the capital shoppers supermarket within the city, and that is in Tinda, Nakawa, Garden City, Nakasero. You can move to any of those points and pick up your Cancer Run kits. Those on Entebbe Road corridor, feel free to move to either Victoria Mall or Keba Express Hotel or Bread House Reza, pick any of your kits. But also those nearer to town, Najana Nkumbi area, Namasuba and so on, you can actually move to Freedom City, Centenary Bank, or even the Freedom City Mall itself. Those on Jinja Road corridor, Namugongo, Chireka, Centenary Bank, Chireka, you have all the kits available to you. Tinda, Chaliwajala, you'll be good to go. Those up country, we are finalizing with the pickup points. We'll be able to let you know when and where. Nansana, Mapera House, Entebbe Road, and those are Centenary Bank branches. These are all some of the pickup points. So we're going to compile all these together, put them in a same document and send them out to you. But also on the receipts that we shall be getting for our different kits that we would have bought, we are going to have all these pickup points or sell points available for you. Now the challenge is, as a Cancer Run officer in your club, probably you've moved out and you want to sell to people who are not part of your club. Still, the process is very simple and is very clear. We shall be able to give you some of these kits, and we shall not be able to hold cash at any one moment in time. So only give out a kit based on whoever has been able to. So we shall be taking you through another simple process, which is like a hawker option, where you have the people you come across, they want a kit, give me your number, punch in the number. In less than a minute, they have to input their password or their code for their mobile money, and then you hand over the kit, and the system keeps offsetting this as well. So we shall be monitoring the way the kits move. We shall be monitoring the stock within our stock that we shall be having. And at the same time, we shall also be able to monitor whether you need to have more kits or you're making sales or not, to be able to see how best we can help you. We shall be available 24/7 of these specific. We'll also be able to, you shall be able to provide the assistance that you need whenever you feel you need the assistance. Feel free to reach out to any of us, reach out to me specifically as chair registration, make sure that we're able to help you. Within our docket, we'll have myself as the chair registration. We do have Rotractor Rachel. I think Chiumulo is also, she's a president from 9213, a vice chair. We have the past DRR Alan Ntambirukoda, a member of the team. And you also have the current visionary president, Kirabo Muriahebwa from Machinge West as part of the team. The team is a little bit thin on ground, but we are doing everything that we have. Then you also have 2 technical people on board. That is Erina and also past district Rotaract representative, Noah, part of the team. So it's a team of about 6 to 7 people, including the past chair registration is on the team, Trian Prosirukwago, to make sure that this becomes a reality. So from my end, I want to stop this at this moment. Now, going forward, still going ahead, just a moment. I have this as well that I wanted us to still go through. Now, this is what we use when we are ordering for kits. You simply come, as I mentioned, come to pre-order, specify the number of kits you want. If you want small size, then you tell us, I want maybe 6 of these, say add tickets. You go back to add kit. You want this time, I want large. Maybe in my club, those who want a large option, about 7 of them. You add your tickets. You go back to add ticket kits. This time you're looking for probably XXL. And in your club, probably you have about 34 people that need XL, you add kits. Now, you are making sure that your cart is being populated. If, for example, by any chance you recall that, yes, there were 7, then simply come and increase to 7. If you discover that a small size, there was supposed to be 5, come and reduce this to 5. And once you're done, continue to check out. Now, when you continue to check out, automatically the system is going to make a calculation of how much you need to pay. And this money should be on your mobile money. So go ahead and tell us whether you're Rotarian or not. After giving us that you're a Rotarian or a Rotractor, then you have to give us the district where you come from. Now, we have these 3 options because our interest is 9213 and 9214. 9213, that is our sister district, 9214, that's our district. So whoever is purchasing a kit, will have to specify the district where they come from. And once this is done, then you go ahead and give us your club. If you choose to take the option of a well-wisher, for example, if you're the other party who are not part of this specific category, then you'll be able to, from the word go up here, you'll have to tell us your well-wisher, and then you don't need to tell us the details of your club and so on and so forth. So that is what exactly happens when you're purchasing some of these kits. Proceed to payment. So proceed to payment, and under the payment, you have 2 payment options. One is a mobile money payment, as I just explained, and the other one is you can use the Visa card or MasterCard to make your payment. Basically, that is how we do the payments. So once that is done, of course, I want to leave that at that point. Then I want to take you to another section. Once your payments are done, we do capture your details at this level. So it is at this level that we get to see who has made in to the donations, who has sent in a donation, who has sent in the different Castoran kits. So at this moment, we are able to tell that so-and-so has ordered 4 kits on a certain dashboard, and you can actually go ahead and download these kits and give you the reports. For example, we have these specific people. We have Sengoba John, is a Rotarian from Bulindo, and this is what they have ordered. And this is what we are going to give you, members, such that you get to check for yourselves and see whether your name appears or not. It is in our interest, and for your interest as well, that as cancer run officers in our different clubs, we go ahead and order or make a pre-order of these kits for us to go through the process and get to see the feel of what it is. Now, once we have been able to go through this process, it will be easier for us to explain it to the members in our clubs and also help any other person that may need the assistance to make sure this is. So we shall make an order, we shall keep all these by ourselves. And once we get all these, then, for example, he has ordered 1 kit, is 1 kit, Max is about 2 kits. So whatever you order is actually kept here, and we shall be able to tell you how much you ordered and whether they are being sold out or not. Now, once this has been done, if you make a donation itself, then we shall have the donations also appear here. Whatever amount you make as a donation, it shall be reflected here, and simply do a report, and then we give this report to whoever is in special financed to give us whatever they need. At the end of the day, we shall do a report which I'll be giving you on a weekly basis to know how much we are or how best we are faring as different clubs. Shall be having the different clubs and make sure that we report effectively on how we work or how we are doing this. In the reporting section, which is where I am now, I hope you can see my Excel sheet. We have quite a number of things that we can display. So we shall be able to tell us, we shall be able to give us the name of the person who has made an order for the kit, whether you're Rotarian or not in terms of membership, your club and your district, the amount of kits you've ordered for. Now there is a column I've just taken out here, and that's a column for money. And then lastly, we shall have the payment status. So whatever you see as being, that means, oh, this money was paid through, and it's within the cancer run coffers right now. So this is for us to show our interest, to help us run this, to help us have the show and make sure that this year's run is a success of its own. So I'll be sending out these reports on a weekly basis for us to look through. And one of the things that people are going to look through will be actually your names and your clubs. And as a cancer run officer in my club, have I done my duty to be able to sell the kits? Do I know what to do? Have I bought a kit? Because charity begins at home. So if I'm not able to buy, then it becomes a little bit hard to tell others to buy when I'm unable to buy. So let's try to do this collectively and make sure that we hit. So in terms of filtering, we shall be coming, okay, how many non-Rotarians do we have? Maybe we have about, say, non-Rotarians. These are the non-Rotarians that we have that have so far bought the kits. How about the Rotractors? Simply come back and set Rotractors and say, okay, the Rotractors are this number. And these are the different kits they have been able to buy. 1, 3, they're about 6 kits. Then we go back to the Rotarians themselves. Do we have Rotarians who have paid for kits? We shall see the number and how many they've been able to pay as well. This is how we shall be going through our process of registration and also make sure that we make the best out there for the good of fighting cancer in the country and within ourselves. Now, lastly, in the process of registration, as I wind up, we are very much interested in you giving us your email to make sure that you complete the registration. Now, this is not to make you or to have your details. It is to help us make sure that at one point we are accountable to you. We have to keep communicating to you on a daily basis or weekly basis to make sure that we let you know what is happening. At the end of the run, we want to thank you. There is no way we can thank you other than by using your email, and for some people who may have simply used mobile money through the mobile money numbers. But we want to encourage that each of you encourages your guests, your colleagues in your club. If you have a company, then you can register it as a company. If you're doing it as an individual and under your club, then your club will receive a recognition of whatever you have been able to do. So allow me to say thank you for listening to me. I'm sorry for having taken quite a little bit of time, but I want to believe that I've been able to go through within the confines of my timelines, and wish you a good afternoon. Question and answer questions can actually come in now. Thank you very much. Over to you, Chair Ahmed.
Thank you so much, registration. That has been very nice. And it's a detailed step-by-step of registration and back-end reporting on what is happening. What I gather is that the uptake of this registration is still very low. I think we have a total of 240 registrations that have been successful.
True.
And yet we have a target of 50,000.
Correct.
So colleagues, I think you see the uphill task that we all have. And it is us, majorly us on this platform, have to make the numbers work out. So as you go home, you know that there's still a lot to be done. Can we receive any reactions from the members?
Okay,
Any
I see in the
reactions?
chat room, I'm seeing one or two things in the chat room. Could we please get, can we please get clarity on the funding and how it works?
That one was explained.
That was explained, okay?
Yes, by Chair Medical.
Oh, thank you. Then the kit is consisting of, what is the kit consisting of? Because people are ever asking, what is in the kit? Is the vest only, or? I think Chair Ahmed also did mention this at the start, that this year's run, we're able to add a bag in addition to the vest itself. So as you pick your vest, you also be able to pick your Cancer Run bag. And God willing, we shall be able to have a little bit of more information or in terms of what we've been able to do, more awareness within the same bag as you take it. So you get two things with your 30,000. One is a vest itself, and then two is the bag itself. Having the different sponsors that we have, but at the same time also being able to go and still market the process of fighting cancer within our country. Thank you. Over to you, Chair.
Maybe another question that is likely to come out from the public is whether it is value for money for 30,000 shillings to only consist of a vest and a bag. And this will be compared mainly to the MTN marathon, where they give you a waist bag, they give you a bottle. The answer is very simple, colleagues. This is predominantly a fundraiser. We are looking for money to support the outreach efforts and of cancer that Rotary Cancer Program is doing. When you compare to other runs like the MTN Marathon is a combination of both fundraising, but also CSR, giving back to the customers and creating more of brand awareness. And the other one is a commercial brand whose role is to make profit. We are a service organization, a charity organization as Rotary. So our main aim for this run is fundraising. And that's why the 30,000 will give you a kit, a bag and a vest, and the balance will go on to the cancer support, which is the reason for the fundraiser. Be always ready to explain that. And when they always twist you and compare with other runs that are 10,000, 15, with a lot of things, that should be the answer. So the issue of adding in a bottle, like I've already explained, that this is a fundraiser, so that is out of the way. And in case you find anyone asking the same, I want to request that you give them the same explanation, that this is a fundraiser to raise money to do a lot of programs in the Rotary Cancer Run program schedule. Do we have any reactions?
Chair, I want to make more clarity still from Namokenge Lilian. When making payments, must we charge? Must we have a charge fee? Yes, when you're making your payments, MTN mobile money will give you how much they are charging you. Airtel doesn't tell you. Now, that is not for me to tell why. At least with MTN, you're able to know how much you're being charged. And what you're being charged, I think, maximum is about, about either 600 or 900 shillings or less. It doesn't go above 1,000. That's what will be charged with you for MTN for the transactions that you make. So as you do the transaction, you'll be able to see all these. If you're doing it using a Visa card, of course, your issuer bank and the settlement bank will do the settlement, and then the charges will be included within there. Looking through our kit in terms of dollars, the 30,000 times of it's about 8 point something US dollars. So it's within the $10 that one will be able to pay at the end of the day. So I'm saying that if one is able to do the $10, then charges inclusive will be good. Once again, I want to encourage members that if your friend is unable to get to pick a kit, please go ahead and ask the people to do a donation. It's better to support the cause than to stay out there when people are dying, when people are feeling bad about what is actually eating us on a slowly, but on a daily basis. We must be able to fight this until we say we are free from this specific disease. Thank you. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Chair. Registration. I see a comment here. We have been requested to do out registration. However, we have to make as well. Does this mean registration can be done when you are making payments as well? Yes, registration and payments move hand in hand. You register and end the registration with a payment. So you have to have the money either on your card or on your phone for you to complete the registration process. I hope that is clear. Do you have any other reactions?
Chair, I would want to request that if there's anyone willing, we can do a test out on the donation bit using mobile money of about 5,000 shillings. Then we see whether it works out.
Okay.
So whoever is willing, feel free. Raise up, tell me, give us your number, and we'll do the test now.
I think you've heard that from Chair. So whoever is willing, take it up. Another question from Bishop Peter: can make an order group very much? Collect money from all the members of the group, as many as you are, even if you're 500, as long as you get the sizes of the shirts. So what you need for the vest is really the respective sizes of the members of your group, and then disaggregate the X 50 pieces, XL 12 pieces, XXL this number, medium this number, and make sure that you have all that money put on either a mobile phone or on a card. And when you go to registration, it asks for quantity, put in the quantity of the number of vests that you need. When it asks you for sizes, you will now start disaggregating sizes. And then you click on payment and you're good to go. So yes, and this is much more encouraged for onto officers. It is better that money as a club and then purchase the kits as a club.
Thank you. So if there is nothing much, I think I beg to end here and wish you a lovely afternoon.
Yeah. Colleagues, I want to thank you for taking time in this very hard, busy time of the year for this important meeting. And I want to encourage us to continue and hold the bull by the horns. Let's go full throttle. It is time to engage the highest possible gear, and then we can start bringing in the numbers. The sizes, Dr. Sojik is asking the sizes. The sizes, when you go to the registration portal, there's a drop down that will show you the sizes, all the available sizes. You receive a receipt after the payment, and the collection points, as soon as the kits are in the country, the collection points are going to be given to you in the respective locations. So you only have to go with your proof of receipt and you take the kit from the various collection points.
So I think the sizes are on the screen. I don't know if you can see them.
For those that want to see the kit sizes, it is just a drop down. I see a hand up from chair.
Yes, I just wanted to say, I also wanted to add my voice to yours. Thank you so much for making this time. However, I want to ask all of us to go ahead and order our kits after this meeting. Let's lead by example. Let's order now. It will really give us a good push, and it will also help us to practice with the tool. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you once again. And I wish you a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone.
I hope you can see the screen. Mr. Mugisha Peter was asking the sizes. Mr. Mugisha, Jik, the sizes are there. There's a drop down of kit size that will show you all the available sizes. So without any further ado, colleagues, I want to wish you a very good afternoon and wish you good celebrations and installations wherever you are going. And may the good Lord meet you at your point of need and wish you a very nice and blessed weekend. Thank you all and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, please,
thank you, everyone.
End the recording and then we can close the meeting.
Bye-bye. Thank you for your time too and the info.
Bye-bye.